we are using Babbel to learn how to speak Turkish. Since we're going to be here for several months, we thought we better learn how to speak Turkish.
Choose the correct translation.
How are you?
Nasılsın?
Nasılsın?
İyi akşamlar.
İyi akşamlar.
İyi akşamlar.
Aren't I a lucky woman? Clive has decided to make breakfast this morning. He has been craving egg on toast, so I guess that's what we're gonna get. Simple but delicious.
Oh, egg and toast. I haven't had one of these for quite a long time. The eggs cook perfectly, even a little bit runny. Good. We woke up to find out that we are on a 48-hour curfew. Well, the whole country, basically. Nobody can leave their houses for 48 hours. Here we are in the marina. There's nobody around. I think all the marina staff are at home. They're probably thinking, oh great, this is a good 2-day vacation. And look at my hair. I mean, I gotta have a haircut. I don't know. There's no barbers around. So Jenny's gonna cut my hair for me. I said, I don't care what it looks like, just make it short. Might be spiky.
No.
When she's done with it.
If it looks bad, at least you could just put a hat on.
I always wear a hat anyway, but and I wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror and I see this spiky hair all over the... I think, nah, this is not good.
Alright, I'm gonna start the haircut. I don't think that's gonna work. Okay, hold on, let me butcher your hair. Not to get mad.
I promise you I won't get mad.
If I butcher your hair. Wait, I'm using household scissors to cut your hair.
Ooh, doesn't look so bad. She did a good job. Took her about an hour to do what a barber usually does in 10 minutes, but it was a good job, so I can't complain.
Look how cute he looks. Clive, take your glasses off. Show everybody your haircut.
Jennifer Cavell, hairstylist. Alright, today I decided to clean the dinghy out because it was full of leaves and dust. The wind's blowing out of the south and blowing all these leaves off these trees here, so it just needed a clean up because it was looking pretty shabby. So this is what happens when you don't look around on a boat and you suddenly stand up and you crown your nose on the boom.
Wow, I really clipped my nose pretty good today. I was sweeping off all of the leaves. Up here, I was engrossed in my Goop podcast that I was listening to. I had my hat on, sweeping, and I was kind of crouched down. And my hat, I don't know, I was just like in the zone. So when I stood up, I slammed my nose into the boom, and I got dizzy and I started to sweat, and it took me about 15 minutes to kind of feel decent again. 2 days later, we're back at it again, spraying the boat off. We had some hellacious winds from the southeast last night, and we woke up and the boat was just full of leaves and dust and pollen. So we are attempting to clean it up for the second time. All right, it's April 16th and we are leaving Marmaris Yacht Marin for maybe 2 weeks or so. There's a ban on travel and basically movement over the weekend, so we were planning on just getting out of Marmaris and hopefully making it to Gocek and spending the next week or two there, bouncing around from anchorage to anchorage. Once we get out of the marina, then it's my job to just make sure the boat is secure, the fenders are up. It's actually very eerie because when we have sailed past all of these bays, there's nobody on the beaches, there's no one outside, no restaurants are open. So it's just a little eerie that there's no one around. I mean, we're excited because we like the privacy, and especially because we've been at a marina for the past month, maybe a little over a month. We're gonna like being secluded away from everybody, and the water's beautiful. Just so happy. Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy as a coot.
As a what? What's a coot? Happy as a coot? All right, the anchor is up and we have taken off for an anchorage in Gocek. We're currently motoring. The wind is coming out of the south. I think it's still early morning breeze that we're getting. It's supposed to swing around and come from the west-northwest, and then we should be able to get our mainsail up. Clive has put out the fishing line, and we're not too optimistic that we're gonna catch a fish, judging by our track record last year. It's just fun to have the line out with hopes to catch something.
We left Turunkuku a couple of hours ago. We're on our way to, let's call it the Gocek Bay. And the wind, unfortunately, hasn't really come up very much, so we'll have to motor. We're roughly at a 3.5 knots of true wind speed, and our apparent wind is at roughly 35 degrees on the starboard side, so no sailing for now.
The coronavirus is unlike anything we have ever seen before. It's really devastating. I mean, millions of people have lost their livelihoods in a matter of weeks, and the economy has been brought to its knees. And really, I mean, most of the world has been told to shelter in place for an indefinite period of time. Right now, we're at an anchorage right outside of Gocek, and Turkey is currently under a weekend ban of movement and travel, and people are told to stay at home. And during these unprecedented times when we're encouraged to stay at home, I urge each and every one of you to try to develop 5 healthy habits, and let's use this time of quarantine to transform our lives from hectic to healthy.
Gonna go and see if we can get a little bit of aerobic exercise. You know, gotta do something down again. Stay
Give you a nice push off. Ready, get set, be free. He set an intention to row today, and that's what he's doing. We're still at the beautiful anchorage in Yassica Adalari, and it's been really nice, just very relaxing, and I'm making banana bread and just cooking up some things, just grab and go meals. We actually, hate to even admit this, but everybody runs Aground. We ran Aground when we came in, right in that area right there, and it took about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours for us to break free with the help of that big motor yacht, and they have a very large dinghy, and then some other man with his boat. So we were able to break free, and we dove on the bottom of the boat. We'll dive again later today and show you the the damage, but it doesn't seem like there's really any major issues. We've been checking the bilge just to make sure that water's not getting in the boat, but there are some scratches. We're at Yassica Adalari, and we just took the dinghy to this little island, and we're just walking around and taking it all in. We've got the beautiful Aegean Sea, and there's actually mountains off in the distance that you can see snow. It's really, really beautiful.
Looks like just natural. I don't know. Actually, this part of this whole wall looks...
Oh, I'm sinking.
Yeah, it's muddy. Looks like it's been built up to protect the little bay here, I think. That's what it looks like to me anyway.
One of the first healthy habits that you can adopt while in quarantine is allow yourself permission to do nothing. As much as I agree with keeping a schedule that keeps your mind and body in check, I think that... What are you doing? Look what he's doing. We're trying to promote healthy habits here.
This is a healthy habit.
Havana Club?
Havana Club, yeah. I mean, God.
Well, that's our alcohol stash,
but I'm going to have a sip anyway.
Well, I guess a beverage every once in a while is a good thing.
Not at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Maybe not at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Alright, so we just left Yassica Islands, and we were heading across the bay to another protected anchorage. There's some strong northwesterly winds coming in over the weekend, plus Turkey is in a 4-day lockdown, so you really can't move around too much. So we wanted to go ahead and get the protection while the weather was still good, and we have up until 12 o'clock tonight. We ran aground a few days ago, and we set sail across the bay, and the boat started to spin in a circle. We weren't quite sure, but now we've decided to try to just make it into Gocek Bay by steering with both engines.
We have no, we have no steering at all. We have to find, somehow we have to find that piece, or make a new one, or find one, or I don't know what the best situation is. Yeah, everything is fine except for the rudder. With no other, well, there's some scratches and things on the keel, but I think what happened is when they pulled the boat off the rock, the rudder, I think, was jammed. Okay, so the next thing is we almost got this thing free, but we're now disconnecting the actuator, the autopilot actuator from the actual the arm, and that'll be the last thing we do to get this thing off.
Okay.
Here is the other piece that broke off, which goes behind the rudder shaft and broke off from the arm, this arm over here. And there's a bolt that goes through the rudder shaft.
Is it?
And yeah, and you can see how that's bent. So you can imagine the power of the...
Made a number on it.
you can imagine the amount of power that exists in the actual hydraulic steering system.
What's this called? An actuator?
It's yeah, that's the actuator that has the hydraulic ram that controls that pushes the arm, which then activates or centers the rudder or puts the rudder in the position you want it.
And this actually runs the rudder for both starboard and port side?
Yeah, this arm here goes all the way to the other rudder post on the port side. You got this side. The problem is, I'm not worried about this.
All right, Clive is going in the water, trying to make sure that the rudder is actually lined up, and we're gonna try to line up the rudder on both sides because the starboard rudder is actually just kind of like oscillating back and forth in the water. There's nothing to keep it in place. So we're just kind of playing around to see if we can actually get the rudders straight.
Okay, I'm going in.
Okay. Trying to hold the rudder in place right now. I don't know if he... What about now? Will you just check right now and see if it's center? Because I'm holding it in place. You're holding it? Yes.
Gotta go pick up the mechanic. Fix our steering.
All right. Bye.
Well, SK Yachting was able to bring me a part which they actually took off another haulier, which was one of their charter fleet boats. So they took the arm off and then brought it over here to Gocek and to replace. Wasn't exactly the same, but it was close enough. So we now have steering and probably even operate our autopilot, and then we're going to have a new piece hopefully machined exactly to the right specifications. So that's what we've done today.